पाइथन सीखेगा इंडिया कोर्स के 11वें दिन आपका स्वागत है। पिछले दिनों हमने कंडीशनल स्ट्रक्चर, लूप और फंक्शंस के बारे में पढ़ा। ये तीनों मिलके प्रोग्राम की फंडामेंटल, एटलीस्ट एक बिगिनर को इतनी लॉजिक आनी चाहिए प्रोग्रामिंग में। लेकिन मैंने एक चीज़ और बताया था कि प्रोग्राम जो होता है उसमें इस लॉजिक के अलावा एक और चीज़ होती है, वो है डेटा स्ट्रक्चर। मतलब उसमें किस तरह आप कोई डेटा स्टोर करेंगे और किस तरह उस डेटा को एक्सेस करेंगे, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। क्योंकि अलग अलग टाइप के डेटा को स्टोर करने के लिए अलग अलग टाइप का डेटा स्ट्रक्चर है। कुछ आपने पढ़ा, एक लिस्ट आपने पढ़ा जो कि एक डेटा स्ट्रक्चर है जो आपके डेटा को स्टोर करने में मदद करता है। ओके, आज हम लोग कुछ और डेटा स्ट्रक्चर के बारे में पढ़ेंगे। एक का नाम ट्यूपल्स है। ट्यूपल्स बेसिकली लिस्ट ही है, लेकिन वो थोड़ा सिंपल है और उसमें एक स्पेशल प्रॉपर्टी है, उसको भी आज डिस्कस करेंगे। उसको कहते हैं इम्यूटेबिलिटी। ओके, ऐसा नहीं है आपने इम्यूटेबिलिटी देखा नहीं है ऐसी कोई चीज़, लेकिन इसको डिस्कस करेंगे आज। और दूसरा डेटा स्ट्रक्चर हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे डिक्शनरी। डिक्शनरी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, क्योंकि डिक्शनरी जो है वो की वैल्यू पेयर मीन्स सम की और सम वैल्यू की तरह स्टोर होता है। और ये आप समझ सकते हैं कि अभी तक जितने डेटा स्ट्रक्चर हमने पढ़े उसमें सबसे कॉम्प्लिकेटेड और सबसे मीन्स फ्लेक्सिबल डेटा स्ट्रक्चर है। इन सेंस डिक्शनरी का यूज हम लोग बाकी सारे डेटा स्ट्रक्चर के बदले कर सकते हैं, लेकिन हम ऐसा नहीं करते हैं। लेकिन हम देखेंगे डिक्शनरी के बारे में। तो हम लोग आज स्टार्ट करते हैं टुपल्स से, और टुपल्स बहुत सिंपल है। तो हम लोग एक स्टार्ट सिंपल ट्यूपल बनाते हैं। So today we will start with tuples first, and then we will move to dictionary. Okay, so let's define. So tuple is defined basically similar to list, but we use small bracket rather than big bracket. Okay, so say to create some tuple you simply has to write something in a small bracket like this and comma and say 2020. So this is a tuple. Okay, and you can print this, print user, and in this way you can see that this value will get printed. Okay, so let's see that. So you can see that tuples is printed similar to list. Okay, there is little trick here. Although suppose you want to create a tuple of one element, say today is 1, and if you create a tuple of 1, the output will not be a tuple. Okay, this is very important, that if you create a tuple of one element, then output will not be today. Okay, then output will not be 1. You can see that output is 1, but it is not a list, it is a number. So in order to create a tuple of one element, there is a special trick here. A comma is used. Okay, so if you use a comma, now you will get an tuple. Okay, now you can see that this is a tuple. This is special for only singleton elements. For rest other elements it will be normal. Okay, so you have to take care of this, and why this is like that we will see it later. Okay, we will see it soon actually. So the next part to learn is accessing elements. So the accessing elements in tuple is very easy. Just you can access element by its index. And we know that counting starts with 0. So the index of Sandeep is here. The first element is 0. So we can access them like this. So accessing element is very simple, and we use the method is very similar to lists. Okay, so the next important thing is to another way to access element is like this. Okay, like first name f name, comma, l name, that is last name, and year, and this is equal to user. And now you can use this variable. First name will assign to Chandeep, second name, last name will assign to this variable, and third name, year, will assign to this variable. And now you can print anything, you can see. So these are two ways in which these elements of tuples can be accessed, and this is the reason why a singleton list, or sorry, a singleton tuple cannot be written like this, because if you write a singleton element like this today equal to 1, then this method of accessing variable will access 1, not the list. That's why we have to write comma here. Okay, so we have learned not only how we can create tuples, but we also learn how we can access elements of tuple. Now we will move to the next topic, that is operation. So tuple, the operation on tuple is basically some few operation from the list only. So basically you can add tuples, like suppose we want to add a tuple here 1, and today is July. So if we add this, we will get a bigger list. So you can simply add any two tuples using this plus operation. Okay, and if we do this, we can see that the first tuple and second tuple are joined. Okay, basically this is concatenation operation. Okay, next operation we can use is we can access the elements like we used to, like 1 is to 1 colon 3, and we know that this will be start from 1, then 2, and end before this. Okay, because this is the complete tuple, and this is the zeroth position. This will take 1 and end before 3, so it will print Suman and 2020. So let's check it. So in this, these are operations related to tuples. Tuples has very minimal operation compared to the lists. Okay, and basically tuples has operations that is subset of the list. Okay, so then after, now you understand how you can access elements from, sorry, how we can operate, do some operation on tuples. And I think the length function should also work on this, because length is an important property of such a kind of data structure. So length should also work. So the length is 1 2 3 4 5, and you can see that 5 is printed. So only very few operations are supported in the tuples, because tuples are simple data structure. Okay, and if you don't want very complicated functionality of the list, then you can use tuple. Another interesting property, that tuple is immutable, and you, now you are little mature, so you should understand that immutability is something very important in programming. And immutability means that once something is created, it cannot be updated. Okay, you can create others, but you cannot update. Okay, let's see what it does. It means, suppose you want to change the first position of user, that is user 0 is equal to some other name like Rohit, and then you try to print, and even you don't print, because this is not possible with tuple, because tuples are immutable. Okay, once they are created like this can be accessed only like this. Okay, you cannot change this tuple. What we have you can do, you can take this variable and you can assign it to another tuple, but you cannot change this tuple. Okay, once created. So little bit difficult and awkward, but you can see that type error, tuple object does not support item assignment. Okay, so you cannot update a tuple because this is immutable. Now we will move to the next important thing, that is iteration. And iteration is very simple. For I in user, print I, print I. And this is the way we are used to iterate. And this is an iterable. So you can iterate on tuple similar to the list and other things. Okay. So you can see that Sandeep, Suman and 2020 are printed. Tuples as a function return. So if you want to return more than, we know that a Python function can return at most one value. Sometime it can return even zero values. That means it doesn't have any return statement. So it will not return anything. But in Python function, you can have at most only one return statement. That is, you can return only one value. But if you want to return more than one value, suppose you have a function def circle and you provide some radius r, okay, inside this, and you want to get its perimeter. So 2 times 3.14, you can use the pi from numpy library for an accurate perimeter, but here just for a demonstration I am using a approximate value, and r. And similarly you can do area equal to, we know that pi r square, so 3.14 star r, and for r square we can do r star r. Okay, and now we want to return both of the things. Then what you can do, you can return a tuple consist of perimeter and area. So return perimeter and area, and this is the standard way of using tuples. So if you want to return more than one thing from a function, then you can use this thing. Okay, and in order to get the tuples, print circle and just provide some radius, say 2, and now you can see that the perimeter and area is printed. Okay, so due to the number 2 it is the same, but if you input radius some different than 2, then you will get a difference here. You can see that perimeter is this and area is this. Okay, you can access this as well. Like if you want to access the perimeter, you can access the perimeter with. So this circle 3 will behave like a tuple and you can access them the way we used to. So in this way, these are the important ways in which the tuples are used. Okay. So now we will move to our next important topic, that is the dictionary. So dictionary is another very important kind of data structure, and it has data is stored in key value pair. Okay, for if you have learned mathematics, you know that function is something like that. You have a key and you have a value. Okay, your classroom register is a key value pair because each roll number is associated with some name, so it is a key value. Roll number is key and the name of a student is value. So these are also very ubiquitous data structure in all programming language, and in other programming language these are known as hex function, something like that. So creating dictionary is very easy. So suppose we want to create dictionary and it should have a key value, so we use middle bracket. Okay, curly bracket here. So first name equal to, if your key is a string, then you have to use something like that, and then you have to write for value, you have to use colon here. So first name is Sandeep and you have to use comma, then second key value pair, that L name, and then just Suman, and last is year, and year can be 2020. So because this is a number, we don't have to use double quotes. Okay, and then you can simply use print user. Okay, so in this way you can create a simple dictionary, and in order to create a empty dictionary, you can just remove anything. You should also know that how we can create empty dictionary. So you can see that an empty dictionary can be created as well. Okay, and later we will learn how we can update them. So now the next important thing after creating the dictionary is how we can access elements. Okay, you can see that accessing elements from the dictionary. So elements can be accessed in many ways. Suppose you want to access the first name. Okay, so you can write here, not position. What this number are doing, these are basically positions. Okay, now for in the list you have the first element is by default have a position that is 0, second element has a position 1, so you can access them with their position. In the dictionary your position can be customized, that is the first position I can write like F name, second position I can write L name, and third position I can use year. So you can use this position argument similar to that to access the variable. For example, if we print F name, then we can see that in this way we can access these elements. Okay, now we want to know that how we can access the keys. Okay, suppose you don't know that how, which are the keys inside a dictionary, so you can write d dot keys. Okay, keys. So using the keys method you can access these keys. Okay, and this will, the output will be a list. So let's check it. So you can see that it is dict keys and F name, L name, and iterable, and this is a iterable, and we, when we learn iteration we will see that how we can use that. And for any key, suppose we want to, now we know that this is a key, so we can use here to access the what is inside that key. Okay, so we can get, you can see that in this way we can access elements from the dictionary. Okay, now we will move to the next thing, operations. Operations, the plus operation is not supported here and you cannot use plus operation. If you want to add something, okay, or update something, suppose we want to update the first name F name and user F name, and we want to change this to some, say, Rohit, then this F name will get updated. Okay, and now it will become F name Rohit, and you can try to print this. If we try to print this, we can change the, we can see the change. Okay, you can see that now the dictionary has been updated, one value has been updated. Okay, suppose you want to update more than one value, then what you can do, you can just do user. Before discussing a general method, I want to tell one more thing. Suppose you want to add extra variable, that is month. Okay, so you can simply create a extra key value pair by writing like this, month ly, like this, and now an extra key value pair will be added. You can see that month July has been added. You can add as much as you want. Suppose you want day, and that is, this is a number, so we can use 1, and you can, in this way you can update or add extra key value pair inside a existing dictionary. But there is one more better method, and that is called user dot update. Okay, and in this function argument or method argument, you can provide any dictionary. Like we can simply say month equal to July, and day is also a string, so we have to use day equal to 1. So in this way you can update. Now you can see, if you can see that month and day has been updated. So in this way you can access elements of from the dictionary, and as well as you can update them. Okay, one more important thing is, suppose you want to delete something, so you have to use, in this large dictionary you can delete something by delete user, and then suppose we want to delete f name, so this key value, that is the first key value, will be deleted. You can see that. So we got the output only these two. Okay, so we learn, you know, now you can, how you can add elements to a dictionary and remove them. Okay, now the most important thing about dictionary is the way we can use iteration. Okay, that is key value pair. That is very interesting. So in order to iterate, there are many methods. First, you can use the functions, you can, the methods you can use is d dot keys or d dot items or d dot values. Okay, or here it is user, so user dot keys. So we will print this one by one. Print user dot keys. We have already seen that in order to get an idea about the keys, we can print user dot keys, and sorry, it is keys. So now you can see that dictionary keys has been added. You can also get an idea about the values as a iterable. You can see that first value is Sandeep, Suman and year, and lastly we can, if you want to get each pair, that is f name, l name, Suman, year, as a tuples, then you can also get that, and that is called items. And these all three are iterables. Okay, you can see that the first element we got as an tuple, and second element we got as an tuple. Okay, so you can use any of three method to do iteration on a dictionary. I can show you some example. So for a key in user dot keys, we can print, first we can print key comma, and suppose you want to access their values as well, so you can write user, and in square bracket you can write keys, and now the key will be printed, first key will be printed, f name, and the value of first key, that is Sandeep, will be printed. Let's check it. Here there is a printing mistake, key. Okay, so in this way you can access the iterate over the elements of a dictionary using key only. Suppose you want to iterate over value, you can use user dot values as well. Suppose you want to, you only want to print values. Okay, so you can do like this. Now value will get printed, or you can use simply here values, and here val, so, or write value, and you can directly use value. Now the same task can be achieved like this. A better or often a general case is used items. Okay, items. So because items has tuples, we have seen that in the items we have tuples. Okay, you can see that this is the output of items, and you can see that it is a tuple. So in order to get access, or in order to get elements from tuples, we know that we have to use two variable. So first key comma value, and now we can print key comma value. Okay, so oh sorry, yeah, now you can see that the same thing will be printed. You can see that the same thing has been printed. So in this way you can iterate over the elements of a dictionary. Okay, another important use case of, and one more thing, I in the end I want to discuss one more thing, that is creating list, creating dictionary from a from two lists. Say suppose you have a one list that is user details, user details, and we have three things. Okay, first is f name, second is l name, and third thing is year. Okay, and one more dictionary, that is data of user one, can be, we can have data of user one is safe, then we have data of user one Suman, and we have third thing as 2020. There is something. Okay, then we can create a dictionary like this: user equal to dict, then we can write zip, and then we provide both the dictionary user details first, and in the second argument we want user one. Okay, so in this way you can create a dictionary, and you can see that if we print user, we will get the required dictionary. So you can see that you can create dictionary from list, and this is very important. Suppose you have a list of x elements and or x position of a vector, and you have position of y element of vector, then you can create each element as a key value pair in using this zip command. Okay, this is another most common command we use to create dictionary from lists. तो इस तरह आज हम लोग इसे, आज 11वां दिन समाप्त होता है, और आज हम लोग बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़ पढ़े हैं। दो तरह के डेटा स्ट्रक्चर पढ़े हैं, ट्यूपल्स और डिक्शनरी। ट्यूपल कुछ नहीं है, एक सिंपल टाइप का लिस्ट है जिसमें कम फीचर्स हैं, आप ऐसे समझिए। बहुत कुछ ऑपरेशंस ये सेटिस्फाई करता है। इसमें एक एक्स्ट्रा इंटरेस्टिंग प्रॉपर्टी है, वो इम्यूटेबिलिटी है, जिससे कि आप बाय चांस किसी चीज़ को आप डिफाइन करते हैं तो आप उसे बदलते नहीं हैं। ओके, अगर आपको कोई एक वेरिएबल ऐसा डिफाइन कर देना है जिसे हम बाद में चेंज नहीं करना चाहते, तो आप उसे ट्यूपल्स में लिख सकते हैं। ओके, ट्यूपल्स का एक्सेसिंग ऑपरेशन ये सब ज़्यादातर चीज़ें लिस्ट जैसी हैं, उसका सबसेट है एक्चुअली ये, इसके मेथड्स कुछ ही इसमें मेथड और फंक्शंस हैं। फंक्शंस का जनरल ये सॉरी ट्यूपल्स का जनरल यूज फंक्शंस का रिटर्न में यूज़ किया जाता है। दूसरा डेटा स्ट्रक्चर जो बहुत ही जनरल डेटा स्ट्रक्चर है, जितने भी चीज़ें डेटा स्ट्रक्चर आपने अभी तक पढ़े हैं, लिस्ट ट्यूपल्स, वो आप एज ए डिक्शनरी आप उसे अडॉप्ट कर सकते हैं और बना सकते हैं। क्योंकि डिक्शनरी में क्या होता है, की वैल्यू पेयर में डेटा स्टोर होता है, और लिस्ट और ट्यूपल में भी एक तरह से की वैल्यू होता है, बस उसका की जो है फिक्स है, 0 1 2 3 4 ऐसे। तो डिक्शनरी भी एक तरह का डेटा स्ट्रक्चर है। हम लोगों ने देखा कैसे हम डिक्शनरी बनाते हैं, हम इसके लिए करली ब्रैकेट का यूज़ करते हैं, और जो की वैल्यू पेयर होता है वो दो की वैल्यू पेयर कॉमा से सेपरेटेड होता है, यहाँ हम लोग देख सकते हैं, और एक की और वैल्यू ये कोलोन से सेपरेटेड होता है। ओके, एक्सेस करने के लिए बहुत सिंपल है, आप डिक्शनरी का नाम लिखें और जो स्क्वायर ब्रैकेट है उसके अंदर आप की अगर लिखेंगे तो आपको वैल्यू मिलेगा। ओके, उसके बाद हम लोगों ने जाना ऑपरेशन। ऑपरेशन में हम लोग बेसिकली जाने सिंपल ऑपरेशन कि कैसे हम डिक्शनरी को बढ़ा सकते हैं यूजिंग अपडेट मेथड, या फिर सिंपली एक की वैल्यू पेयर असाइन करके, या दूसरा मेथड हम लोगों ने पढ़ा कि हम कैसे एलिमेंट को डिलीट कर सकते हैं। ओके, तो डिलीट करने भी सीख गए। आइट्रेशन सीखा। आइट्रेशन करने के लिए क्या करते हैं, हम तीन मेथड का यूज करते हैं। अगर हमें कीज़ पर आइट्रेशन करना है तो हम दो जो डिक्शनरी है वो डिक्शनरी डॉट कीज़ ऐसे यूज करेंगे। अगर हमारा उसके बाद अगर हमें वैल्यूज़ पर करना है तो हमें डिक्शनरी डॉट वैल्यूज़ करना होगा। अगर हमें की वैल्यू दोनों चाहिए तो की कॉमा वैल्यूज़ करके, और उसको जो है जो मेथड यूज़ होगा वो होगा डिक्शनरी डॉट आइटम्स। ओके, तो इस 3 तरह से आप डिक्शनरी के एलिमेंट को एक्सेस कर सकते हैं, उसे आइटरेबल बना सकते हैं। और लास्ट में हमने पढ़ा कैसे हम लिस्ट से जिप फंक्शन की मदद से, ये जिप फंक्शन की मदद से हम एक डिक्शनरी बना सकते हैं। तो थैंक यू वेरी मच।